Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be another pin fact or fake video, which is basically where I find a ton of pins on Pinterest and put them to the test to see if they are indeed fact or fake. Now let's begin. Now I'm pretty sure you've guessed which pin we will be testing out today, and that would be these lily pad pool warmers. Now after doing some research, I believe this pin originated from Make magazine, which says you will be using the hula hoops to heat your swimming pool using the sun. So what you're basically doing is melting some black plastic polyethylene film onto a hula hoop and placing it in your pool and letting the sun do the rest. But don't worry if that sounds confusing, I will show you exactly how to make your lily pads. Now one thing I did find really interesting is that I came across a ton of pins that claim that they just use regular trash bags opposed to the polyethylene film to make their lily pads. Now one big difference in regards to these two materials is the polyethylene film that was normally used was anywhere from 4 to 6 mil, and trash bags are nowhere near as thick as that material. So I decided to go with a happy medium and actually use polyethylene film at 2 mil. So it's not as thick as some of the pins I came across, but it isn't as thin as the trash bags that people claim that they use to heat their pools as well. Okay, so I'm sorry for that long introduction, but I just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page. So finally, let's begin. So you want to wrap the black plastic around the hula hoop, then you're going to take an iron and place it directly on that black plastic for about 2 to 3 seconds, and you just want to make sure to work in sections, and this will automatically melt it onto the hula hoop. Now as I tug on the black plastic, you can see that it has been melted to the hula hoop. Next, you just want to cut off all of the excess black plastic all the way around. Lastly, you just want to make some vent holes using a blade. Alright, so before starting, let me give you a little background. I do live in LA and it is midsummer right now. And in specific parts of LA, especially where I'm at, it's always borderline like 100 degrees. So today, the day I am testing it out, it was 87 degrees out here. And I know you're like, why do I want hot water in my pool on a hot summer day? Well, it's not that I want hot water on a hot summer day right now. It's just, in my head, it seemed like the perfect time to test out the pin. Because if this pin really did work, then it would work on a hot summer day where the sun is basically blazing hot on the actual black plastic. So today would be the day you would see some drastic changes in temperature. So as you just saw, I just took the temperature of the water and it read 85.4 degrees Fahrenheit. So now I'm just ready to start with the lily pads. So all I'm going to do here is basically just toss all my lily pads into the pool. And I'm not gonna lie, I bought 16 hula hoops. I actually cleared out all the hula hoops that I could find in the store, and it didn't even fill up half of the pool, which was unfortunate. So to give the pin a benefit of the doubt, what I ended up doing is actually just placing all of the lily pads in the shallow end of the pool. So instead of having them kind of just flow everywhere, I wanted just to kind of leave them at one point of the pool so that that section of the pool would actually absorb all the heat. So here you see all my lily pads just kind of floating in the shallow. I did leave the lily pads floating in the pool for about 5 hours, a little bit before 1 o'clock when it was 87 degrees and the sun was beaming above the pool, and now a little bit before sunset when it is now 84 degrees out. Now let's see what happened. So now again, I'm just waiting for the thermometer just to give me a specific clear read. It just kind of keeps decreasing in degrees at the moment, so I'm just kind of waiting for it to stay at 1 degree and then go from there. And here we see that it stayed at 85.8 degrees opposed to the 85.4 degrees earlier this afternoon. So I wasn't too confident on whether the lily pads really worked or not. But then I thought about taking the temperature on the opposite side of the pool where the lily pads weren't floating around, and then I did see that there was a drop in temperature as I was waiting for it to give me an accurate read, and it stayed at 84.1 degrees. So in a sense, I guess you can say the pin does work. It didn't substantially change the temperature of the water, or the surface of the water I should say, but when it came to the sun setting and the end of the day, when the pool begins to actually decrease in degrees, of course, the side with the lily pads did retain the heat opposed to the opposite side. And I think another thing to take into consideration is those pins that said trash bags. I don't believe they really changed the temperature in the water at all, or very much like these did, opposed to the actual recommended 4 to 6 mil polyethylene film recommended. Alright, wow, I feel like I definitely just talked your ear off. I hope this video helped you decide on whether or not the pin was worth trying, and as always, thanks for watching and please subscribe.